So in this video we're going to look at doing a simple tutorial on developing some basic skills for Autodesk Inventor, and we're going to be looking at making a small toy car in this wee task. So as per usual, we're going to open up a new file, so new tab, ensure we expand the metric folder and standard MMIPT. Once our file is loaded, we're going to start a new 2D sketch, and I'm going to do it on my XY plane. Now, two options here. We could either draw the car, just a kind of basic outline, but in this kind of task we're going to make it a wee bit simpler. So I've already went on the internet, simply found a basic kind of side profile of a car, and I'm going to insert that and use that for my basic inspiration. So I'm going to start off by going up to Insert an Image, going to the correct folder, and then choosing this car I found here. Click once to place it, then press Escape. Again, you will have to go on the internet and find your own image of a car. You want to try and get one that's a good side profile that you can then use to try and trace. So with something as complicated as this, with a lot of kind of curves in it, we're going to use a lot of the time using our 3-point arc tool and jumping between that and a line tool. If you want to pick something that's simpler to try and differentiate your work, or if you kind of struggle a wee bit more with using Inventor, try and pick a car that's a lot more boxy and square. So I'm going to start off by doing my curves, so let's start tracing our shape roughly. Doesn't have to be perfect, just something to try and give us a wee basic intro to this. Let's zoom in a bit more. Now we've got two options here, as I said. We can either keep continuing and jumping between our arc and our line. The other option we have, however, is obviously a spline tool as well. So the way the spline tool works is we can click between 2 points to draw our object, and then it will create a bend depending on how it clicks. The only problem is we get this kind of button that appears here that does make a life of that wee bit harder because it constantly tries to finish the drawing. Now, just a wee hint, when working on this, when I get to the end of my page, like you can see here, I'm actually pressing and holding down my mouse wheel, which becomes the hand tool, which allows me to then drag it to the side and then continue on, rather than having to constantly stop and go to my tools at the side here. And if you do accidentally do it, I'll deselect the tool, simply just finding that green snap node again and continuing on from where you left off. Now for this I'm going to actually ignore the wheel arches here because I'm going to just try and develop some more skills. So we're going to do an extrude and a subtract, where if I trace this out we'd have a hole cut the full way through our car, which we don't want. So I'm going to then just switch back to my line tool. Oh, I accidentally cancelled that. Let's finish off that bit one more time. My fault. There we go. Line tool to finish it. Oh, green snap node. Need to make sure we get that, and green snap node. So that's our basic car shape. So as I said, we're ignoring this wheel arch, because if we were to put that in and then extrude our object, we'd have this wheel arch going the full way through our car, which we know isn't correct. When I then finish my sketch, zoom all, then go choose extrude my car profile, and then pick an appropriate size depending on how big you've sketched your object. So yep, maybe a wee bit more. Happy with that. So there is my car profile. Now, two options here. I could obviously undo that to actually leave the windows cut out the full way through, which I think we might actually do. So again, just to kind of show you how to fix that, we can then simply undo that. Let's go back to my sketch. Let's try adding in some more detail here for the windows. So again, this is actually the front windscreen, so we're going to ignore that and just put in the front windscreen. This is just because this window wraps. So let's right click and edit that sketch. Put in some detail for the windows. Again, if you really struggle, you can actually make curves up using lots of straight lines. Finish sketch. Then try extruding this time. So we end up with an object like this. So there's my basic car shape so far from a kind of child's toy really simplistic. I'm then going to start beginning to put my wheel arches into this.